Hi everyone, this is Prasad and I welcome you all to my YouTube channel where I share with you my life experiences in Canada. So today's video is a bit long one and also a bit sentimental for me because this month I'm completing 5 years in Canada. So in this video I'm going to talk about my journey from being an international student back in 2019 to a government employee. Make sure you watch it till the end because I'm going to share with you some tips and tricks that have worked for me, and hopefully by the end of this video you will find some inspiration that will help you on your Canadian journey as well. So without further ado, let's jump right in. So my Canadian journey started back in the fall of 2019 when I arrived in Canada as an international student at the Nova Scotia Community College to study the Applied Media and Communication Arts program. I have owned and operated a duo of media communication companies back in India, so this program was definitely a step in the right direction where I could build on the experience I had while gaining some new skills. The Nova Scotia Community College is a great institution. I really enjoyed my program, made some great instructors, made a lot of new friends, and also as a part of the International Student Ambassador program, I had a chance to travel around the province quite a bit. So I really enjoyed my program at NSCC. Now, here's my tip number 1 for you. If you're planning to come to Canada as an international student, please make sure that you choose a program that you're highly passionate about and the one that you have a strong desire to build your career in. Because I've seen a lot of students choosing their programs based on their consultants' recommendations or the ones that are easy to get admission into, but they have nothing to do with their career path. They are choosing the programs just to get an entry into the country, but that might not be helpful in the long run. So do your research, make sure that you're choosing the right program, because after all, you're investing thousands of dollars towards your international education along with some precious years of your life. So when I started the program, I had very limited funds, essentially nothing more than the guaranteed investment certificate, which at that time was around $10,000. Now, to be able to enjoy the international student life, I thought getting a part-time job was essential. So I started applying to jobs in my area of education and expertise, and despite having 10 years of experience back in my home country in media communications, I struggled to find a job. So out of desperation, I started applying to jobs randomly and landed a job at Walmart. It was an entry-level position, but trust me, I was overjoyed to finally be able to have some side income to support my education and life in Canada. And with that, we are going to talk about the tip number 2. Initially, it's okay to not have a job in your area of study or expertise, but if you came here with limited funds, it is crucial to have a part-time job that will support you financially. Undoubtedly, Canada is an expensive country, and having a source of income will take that financial pressure off your chest that will help you direct your energy in the things you are more passionate about. So make that temporary arrangement and keep working towards your long-term goals. Now, while I was completing my program at the Nova Scotia Community College and doing a part-time job at Walmart, I started volunteering for an organization called Kin Club of Canada. Now, volunteering is something I've personally enjoyed doing back in India as well. It fills my heart with joy to be able to give back to the community. It keeps me grounded while making some really great, meaningful connections. In fact, based on the connections I built with this organization, I received my first paid content creation order in Nova Scotia. So that leads us into our tip number 3. Be out there in your community. Try to find activities and events that help you build meaningful connections and fill you with gratitude and joy. These experiences will help you integrate well within your community. After all, you're not here just to complete your education, get a job and get a salary. You want to become one with the community. You want to integrate yourself and your family members in the community as well. And in a small province like Nova Scotia, your network is your net worth. That means who you know and who knows you really matters. So as I was completing my program at NSCC, I needed to move out of my apartment due to a situation with my landlord. Now what that situation was and Why I needed to move, I can make an entire video about it, but that's a topic for another day. But this move meant that my rent went up significantly with my new apartment, and my part-time job with Walmart was not sufficient for me to cover the expenses. Also, this was around spring of 2020 when the first wave of COVID was hitting Canada. By this time, my program had ended, which meant I could do full-time work during my summer break. So to support myself financially and earn some extra income, I went ahead and bought an electric bicycle from Walmart and started literally doing food delivery on a bicycle. So for the next 3 months straight, I did my part-time job at Walmart and did hundreds of food deliveries. Because the restaurants were closed and people were not able to dine in, this was a great opportunity to make some serious money through food deliveries, and I did it all on a bicycle. And that leads us into our tip number 4. Enjoy the process. Life can be challenging at times. It definitely was for me back then. But being grateful for all the resources I had, as well as taking those opportunities and making the most out of them, definitely helped me stay positive. Enjoying the process is important because it puts you in a higher state of energy where you can stay focused on your long-term goals while taking care of yourself in the meantime. So after completing my first program at the Nova Scotia Community College, my instructors advised me to look into their public relations program. Now this was an advanced diploma and I could definitely use it to my advantage to build my career in Nova Scotia. So I applied to that program and got admitted within a few weeks. As this was happening, a great opportunity came up with IKEA, and based on my experience with Walmart, they hired me as a customer experience coworker. Now again, this job had nothing to do with my area of education or area of expertise, but it played a significant role in shaping my career here in Canada. Now, while I was completing my public relations program at NSCC and also doing a part-time job with IKEA, I continued to build strong relationships within the organization and express my intentions to work in the field of communications. So towards the end of my program, they offered me a communications assistant internship, and this was a breakthrough moment for me because for the very first time after arriving in Canada, I was able to find work in my area of education, in my area of expertise and domain. I was definitely overjoyed, and that internship was the first stepping stone towards my career as a communications professional in Nova Scotia. So I did that internship happily and completed my public relations program, and I received a 3-year work permit. So after graduation, I continued to work with IKEA, and based on my experience there, they offered me a specialist position. Now this position was not completely in the domain of communications, but it definitely leveraged some of my skills there and some of my experience from back home. So IKEA is a great organization to work with, and I really enjoyed my time with them. They provided me with a lot of learning and growth opportunities, which I'm forever grateful for. But the specialist position I was in wasn't purely in the communications domain. A few months down the road, another opportunity came up in Halifax with a non-profit organization where I could use 80% of my skills from the communications domain. So it was an events and digital content coordinator position. I applied to that position, and one of the connections I built during volunteering at NSCC helped me as a reference during that job securement. And with this position, I finally saw my career shifting from retail to communications domain. Now, this particular organization worked quite closely with the provincial government. So I worked with this non-profit organization for almost a year and a half while being mindful of my ultimate goal to land a communications job. And because this position leveraged almost 80% of my communications domain skill set, I was able to build a strong portfolio of projects over the years along with some government experience. And when this opportunity came up with the local government as their communications and engagement manager, I was able to present this experience and the entire portfolio that I had built over the years. Now, securing this government job wasn't as easy. The interview process was quite lengthy. It took me several months. The process was quite competitive as well. But I think all the experiences I've been having over the years kind of prepared me for this moment. So this fall, I'll be completing a year with this local government as their communications and engagement manager, and I'm extremely proud of my achievements. So if we reflect back on this 5-year journey from being an international student to securing minimum wage jobs to delivering food on bicycle to some intermediate jobs and finally landing my dream job, if you ask the question, was it all worth it? I would say absolutely yes. If we look at this journey as a collective experience, every step along the way kind of prepared me for the next one. Now, the process will definitely look different for each one of you, but I strongly believe that the fundamentals still remain the same. Being focused on your goals, making temporary arrangements to support yourself in the process, volunteering, making those strong connections, going out there in the community, as well as taking opportunities and using them as different bridges to reach your ultimate goal. I think those steps can be followed in pretty much any domain. So at the end of the video, I hope you are able to gain some inspiration from my 5-year journey, and I wish you all the very best in your journey as well. If you would like me to make any specific videos on the topics we talked in the video today, please let me know in the comments down below. And if you found this video inspiring, please consider subscribing and giving it a thumbs up. I'll see you in the next one.